all over your face. Scientific intricity you created out in space. Oh yeah, you can do what you wanna do. Tap the phones, we know you're listening. You can think how you wanna think now, but you can't stop us. The truth is rising. If we lose, we refuse. I will go down without a fight. You think that I can't see what you're doing to me? You cannot defeat me, 'cause I'm in your league. My hand on your heel, I'm pulling through, a step ahead of you. You think that I can't see, you know I have your problems with me.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebron Bible Academy, you're invited. That's right, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathered of Christ Church. And yes, the Hebron Bible Academy, as you all know, starts February 6th, and you are invited. Brand new lessons. You'll learn again more in one day, going into the creation of the universe, on how all things was made. And I'm going to also deal with and break down the everyday interactions that we have with the spirit world unknowingly. How the spirit world was created. They're our senior in creation, and how they interact with mankind without what? Us actually recognizing their presence. We're going to be going into that and more, finding the Ark of the Covenant, surviving the wilderness, and how the rebels that are actually in the truth will be judged. Rebels. Same people that are speaking truth and all that today. Well, some of us, a lot of us, our people, the Israelites all together, will be in the wilderness as Israelites. And there will be rebels who knew the truth on this side. What will happen in the wilderness? Survive in the wilderness. We're going to all talk about that and more in the Hebron Bible Academy. I hope to see you there. February 6th. Go to historytimes.org. historytimes.org to enroll. Okay, we have brothers and we have the administration waiting for you to actually process, and they'll process it for you and get you ready for February 6th. Now, jumping right in, yes, this is our update for Patreon. We'll soon segue there. All right. As you can see the title, it's clear. Getting our mind, body, and spirit prepared. Today we're going to be dealing with the what? The body aspect, the healing aspect of getting ourselves prepared for what's to come. Why? Because there are the powers that be, brothers and sisters, has already segued into the next phase of these sicknesses. If you don't believe me, fair use. We must get our bodies and our immune systems together. And this is why today I will have Truman burst on answering questions on how we can actually work to get our bodies together in preparation for this war. War is also biological, brothers and sisters. War isn't just, when we think of war, we think of people running with guns and bombs blowing up. Nah. The most effective wars that this system have always done against people, folks, were the silent wars, the psychological wars that they would use through media, okay? The religious wars like Islam and modern day Christianity that have played on us. But the Roman Empire has always used poisons, has always used biological warfare as a silent way of getting rid of people without the blame. Okay? So already, here's the next phase of where things are going. Oh, you thought it was over. Fair use. Listen.
Now to a bizarre story involving the crash of a trailer full of monkeys headed to a lab, and a woman now experiencing health problems after coming in close contact with the primates. The woman says she has been put on preventative medicine for the next 2 weeks, but there are some questions tonight into what these monkeys were being used for and what they could have been infected with.
Look down in more and it pops up some monkey.
Michelle Fallon never thought something like this would happen.
I thought, well, zoo monkeys. You know, I didn't know these were animal test monkeys.
After witnessing a crash on a Pennsylvania highway and stopping to help, she learned the truck was carrying 100 monkeys from East Africa, headed for a Missouri test lab.
I thought they were like okay, like they had their shots, they're good, they've been checked. I didn't know they could have diseases or whatever.
After checking to make sure the driver was okay, she went up to the trailer full of crates, thinking there were cats inside.
They had this like green cloth over, so I peel it back and I go to stick my finger in there to try to pet it, and it pops its head up and I'm like, oh, it's a monkey.
3 of the monkeys escaped in the crash and 1 was recovered. 2 others were put down. But the hours-long escape forced health officials to issue an alert, warning the community not to come into close contact with the primates because the species commonly spreads herpes virus B.
I'm like, well, I was there and I touched everything.
That alert leaving Michelle on edge and unsure of what to do. Her close contact later leading to pink eye and flu-like symptoms.
I walked through their poop, I touched their crates, I tried to pet them, so now I don't know what's going on.
As a precaution, Michelle has now received her first rabies vaccination and has been prescribed antiviral medication as doctors continue to monitor her symptoms.
The location of the CDC quarantine facility where these monkeys were headed and the type of research that they were going to be used for has not been released, but this type of monkey is often used in medical studies. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
So they've already told you what's going to happen. Eventually, it's already seeded through media that if you see a herpes virus B breakout, it was because some monkeys crashed somewhere, okay? So they already got it seeded in your mind. So when there's an outbreak, it was the monkey that got loose. It's none of our fault. Everything is fine. We're not going to tell you what we're testing the monkeys for, but it's actual viral, which showing that what? She came in close contact and she's already exhibiting symptoms. So could it be what you tested on the monkeys can actually shed and spread to others? Testing, because monkeys are in close biology when you look at it to how humans are, right? Okay, outside of exactly leg, arms, they use the primates because primates spread things to each other in close proximity. So could it be some sort of testing for for the metropolitan cities? Who knows? But we're going to talk about that more on Patreon. But it's already been seeded, folks. Nothing on the news is by chance. Editors and all that sit together to discuss how to progress their next stage, the next stages in their plan. So this is no organic, out of the blue accident. They sit and they discuss what they should convey to the people based on them progressing whatever plans they have going forward, for the population. All right. Mind control. Now, so obviously, once people begin to get over whatever's going on and they have taken whatever the people have told them is best for them, obviously they got to segue it into something else that we may need a treatment for. So they're going to, obviously, there's no coming out of this. We went from the cold coming up to the flu, then being told to get flu stuff once a year. We went from that to different strains of influenza, and then now it's then progressing to a monster, which is Dovic 91 spelled backward. And now we're coming out of that. They're saying, well, there's different variants of it. And here it is, monkeys are on the loose now with new diseases that people should be aware of. So I want to talk about our mind, body, and spirit today on how to actually build our bodies against some of these biological attacks. We're under a biological warfare. And this is what the Bible stated before I bring Truman in for a couple of seconds. And Truman, after I bring you in, we're going to segue so that you can answer questions to our Patreon members. They're waiting on that side. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit to our brothers and sisters to get them prepared for what's going on here. And then we're going to deal with the phone call discussions. But this is what the Most High said. Ecclesiastes, the 38th chapter, the 4th verse. The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Abhor means hate. So that the Most High says, listen, he made medicines out of the earth. Now, what are that? What are they? Now, there's no way you can patent the Most High's medicines because they grow freely. Dandelion grows anywhere. The medicinal uses of dandelion is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, folks. Dandelion. I remember I was overseas and I was having a little stomach issues, because we have to adjust to the water and the foods in different areas that grow. Boom. I seen this article where this guy was diagnosed with a serious cancer, and he said that, chemotherapy or whatever the case is. And I seen an article that he wrote. It was online. And I wouldn't suggest this. This is what this guy said. This guy just said, well, listen, a spirit came to him. He knew it was a voice or a thought to go out and get himself some dandelion, to have it dry out for 3 days and whatever the case might be. And he began Okay, yeah. I got that, Aunt. I got that. And he began to, do certain things like herbs and all that. And eventually he was healed. And I seen that. I'm like, whoa. So eventually what I did, I was overseas and I was drinking herbal teas. I went out and got myself some dandelion, cut it, washed it off and used it as a tea. And the next thing you know, 4 or 5 days later, my stomach was feeling fine again. Things was regulated. And I got that from outside, dandelion. So I looked into the medicinal use or the health benefits of dandelion. And based on, it helping me personally, hey, when I have any stomach issues, I just naturally do that myself. And dandelion grows everywhere. There's no way that anyone could try to patent dandelion that grows. All right. Now, the Bible says the Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right? Now, when did he create these herbs or whatever? It tells us in Genesis 1 and 11. And God, his name is Ahiah, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed. Here we go. And the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So the Most High made that herb yielding seed to heal mankind, to minister and heal mankind before man was made out of the dust of the ground. The healing principles out of the earth was there. Okay? And don't forget, the ground itself, the soils, the top 7 layers of soil is really, it comprises of the vitamins we take. Now think about that. The Most High made out of the dust of the ground man. 7 is his number. You calculate 7 in his number for creation, leading to judgment, holy days, everything is 7. Well, the first 7 layers, brothers and sisters, of the soil is all the vitamins we take to supplement what our food no longer provides in certain instances. Calcium, right? Vitamin, we have calcium, vitamin D, and all these other vitamins. Well, they're on the first 7 layers of the ground man was made out of. So really what we're doing is we're supplementing and putting back what's used to stay young. The earth. The earth was meant to heal her children. Which leads us to, let's bring them in. Let's bring him in. Dr. Truman Burst, how are you today, sir?
I am blessed.
Okay, 1 second. Let me pull you up here. Okay, Truman, your screen has frozen for some reason.
It was on me for a bit, but it to be my end, it's not frozen. And
All right, do me a favor. Go out and come back in and call again. Just call right back. Just call right back, Truman. Okay, you're fine now.
excellent.
Okay, your speaker is down. I need you to bring up your volume or speak louder.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I would like you to speak louder because your volume is pretty low.
All right, I will speak up.
All right, great. All right, Mr. Truman Burst is live. Before we go to Patreon, first and foremost, Dr. Truman, I would like to thank you for your presence today with the Gathering of Christ Church. Thank you for your presence, right? Now, today, what we're going to discuss on phone calls is, of course, there's a lot of stuff out there, but a lot of people don't know that they know about the natural things that it takes to actually build your immune system, right? To keep your immunity up, because why? No person out there can avoid coming in contact with someone who might be sick. So so under that case, we need to talk about building our natural immune system in our foods, what we eat, just a lifestyle of being healthy, knowing that eventually we're going to run into sick people, right? So we're going to take some phone calls in a couple of minutes from Patreon real quick, but I would like you to introduce yourself, Dr. Truman, and let us know exactly what you usually provide, just to help people. You are a doctor, just in a nutshell, not talking about any disease in particular. How can people naturally keep their immune systems up on a daily basis in foods alone or whatever the case is? And we'll talk about that before segueing over to Patreon.
To increase increase your immune system, and especially if you're looking at a virus, because when you're looking at the key differences in approaches to different treatment wow. I got a noisy background. Anyway, we're talking about how to build up the immune system. There are key differences in the approaches to treatment as opposed to prevention. The severe respiratory damage of advanced coronavirus.
Oh. We're not going to talk about the virus in particular and anything like that. We just want to give people, maybe we can go to Patreon, we can talk more, but this thing, it triggers when we talk about anything in particular that they're talking in mainstream. I would really like the people to understand naturally, whether it be anything, how do they naturally, what type of foods or the natural way that they could go about making sure their immune system is strong on a daily basis without talking about any disease or anything in specific.
All right. Let's. That's a very good topic, because the most important thing you could. Well, first of all, my name is Truman Burst. I am a graduate ethnobotanist and phytotherapist with 2 PhDs. I'm a master herbalist and a chartered herbalist and a master of herbology. I am also an ordained minister and a certified bishop. And I love Jesus Christ. And I've spent 61 years creating and natural remedies and helping people. That's what I do. I'm spirit-filled and spirit-led, and that's why I'm here with Elder Rawchaa. When we're talking about how to build up the immune system, when we're talking about how to build up the immune system, you want to know about a diet that I perfected, and it took me decades to perfect this diet. It's called the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system. And when we're talking about the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system, which I'm bringing up on the screen here so you can see it, and when we're talking about the making a lifestyle changes, it's a diet system, because changing your diet can help bring down depression. It can depression. Changing your diet can boost your mood.
Like changing their diet from what to what? Give us an example of that.
From the general foods that people are eating. They're eating fast foods. They're eating a lot of meat. They're eating a lot of dairy, and they need to take a look at how much water they're actually drinking, because we have so many people who are dehydrated.
Okay.
So I created a report. It's on the website, herbalhealthreview.com. And on that website, herbalhealthreview.com, you'd have to become a member. You'd have to sow into this ministry and become a member. And to become a member, it's $20 a month. Or for a lifetime membership in this ministry. It's $195 one time for a lifetime membership. And then what you get is you get to fill out a member intake form that's online that tells me all the information that you want me to know. Then you press the button, it goes to me. I get it in 5 minutes. And then I can pray over it. I can answer all the questions. I can send back all my suggestions to you. And again, that's the website, herbalhealthreview.com. And when you're on that website, herbalhealthreview.com, and you become a member, you filled out the member intake form, and then that gives you total access to a website that has been banned by the government. It was banned. I was told to close it down in 2010. However, I fought that. I sued the FDA. I won that case, and that's why it's the only website in the United States that is banned, that is still up and working, and all of this information is available.
Okay, what I want to do is, even when we go to Patreon, I would like to, where they can reach you and all the things, I would like to keep that for the end so that we can actually give the brothers and sisters some help in content.
Yes.
All right. So I would like to keep it with, right before I go into, because we have to be able to help the people. Even if they can't reach you, I like to give out some tips. Like when you said there's things, our diet, like in specific, what is a bad diet that our people should avoid, and what is a good diet that they should begin to practice? We can at least give them that, and then when we segue over to Patreon, right, we'll more so go into detail, because of course there's things we cannot discuss on this platform that we can freely talk about there. Okay, so when you say diet in specific, what is the diet our people, all people, should avoid?
The diet you should avoid is the general diet of fast food, of too much meat, dairy, not drinking enough water, not knowing all of the nutrients that you should be putting into your body, but instead people don't drink enough water because they're busy. They don't have time. They don't have time to even go to the bathroom, and because they're busy, and then they run to grab a sandwich, or they're drinking too much coffee. They're not eating. They're not drinking enough water. And how much water should a person drink? Half of your body weight in ounces. If you weigh 100 pounds, you need 50 ounces of pure spring water with minerals, and it would be a good idea to put a slice of real lemon in that, because that lemon in that water will drive the water alkaline, so you'll have an alkaline water diet. When you put a little lemon in that water, about 16 ounces every morning, and rehydrate yourself. And then that lemon is flushing out the kidneys. It's flushing the kidneys and cleaning your kidneys out, which are trying to get rid of toxins. And then you need to know about things that you need to put into your diet instead of the general fast food or quick meals where you're not really getting a balanced diet. You need one of the main nutrients that you need to get into your diet.
Okay.
Is B12 and folic acid. B12 and folic acid drops will rejuvenate every cell in your body.
Okay.
The second thing that you really need to be putting into your body is you need to know about vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is an incredible immune system booster.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, if you go to a doctor, they're going to recommend about 1,000 IUs of vitamin D3. That's not enough. What they find in science is that if you would start with 50,000 for 15 days, that's 50,000 IUs of vitamin D3 for 15 days. On the 16th day, drop back to 10,000. And you stay on that 10,000, and you try to schedule this to where you're doing this every spring and every fall.
Okay.
Increasing your immune system so that you can go into flu season and in the cold weather, and your immune system is boosted. So your B12 and folic acid drops are rejuvenating every cell. And the vitamin D3 is building up your immune system, so much so that the study that I'm looking at, it will increase your immune system so that it'll slash the risk of cancer by 77%.
Now, and when you say it will slash that by that percent, is this actual journals and science that have actually found it? what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you'll find that report and that information in a report that I created regarding breast and all cancers on that website, herbalhealthreview.com. You'll find in that report, you'll find, how to deal with cancers and tumors with natural remedies.
All right. So let's do this real quick. Let's segue over into let's segue over so we can bring some of this information out over into for our Patreon members who are waiting. And this, what we're going to do is we're going to start off. Of course, I have a few bullet points I would like to start off with for the first 3 minutes to ask you so that we can have a ebb and flow of information that can help our Patreon members when it comes to health. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines, Truman, where it'll just be Ask Truman. Okay? Let's ask Truman. All right? Now, as a matter of fact, Truman, right before I came on the broadcast, a lot of what you just said the herbs you said to do on a daily basis, I actually took some of the drops and all that so I can live by it. A lot of people ask me, Truman, like what's going on, Elder Rawchaa? Did you find the fountain of youth? All right. They see my pictures from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and wonder why. And I know it's the Most High who's preserving me in His Spirit that is driving me to do this truth. But I have to also say, a lot of that comes with making sure I take the right herbs and stuff on a regular basis to replenish, what I lose. Hey, because I'm a high strung, I'm always going, and sometimes we lose a lot, but don't return the favor to our bodies by replacing what it's using. That's one thing, but you know what I have to do more so of, and I'm guilty of? I don't drink enough water. So, I'm not going to be a hypocrite on that point. I'm going to make it my position to begin to drink more water. I already started a little bit at a time, but I think my mother was like that. She would drink Pepsi. I'm like, Mom, that's not water. So, but she did live a great life, and I have to really get up on that, right? So the folic, okay, so is that B12 that I took, the drops I took today, the B12 drops, when you said folic drops?
Yes, B12 and folic acid drops.
Okay, I took that today. I took that. I got it. All right. So here it is. There's a lot that these platforms are really corporatized to a degree. So I just want everybody to know that this is going to be a great broadcast over in our Patreon. And if y'all would like to be a part of this, each week I bring out certain information that's needed. The things that normally that, we can't talk about on a lot of these corporatized things, but it's still what? Valid information that will apply and help our lives in the midst of all this confusion going on right now. So here it is. It's 1 o'clock on the nose, or 1:03. I'm over the time. I need you to hold tight, Truman. And we're about to open up a segment on Patreon titled Ask Truman. Okay. And then at the end of it, we'll give you the last 3-4 minutes where you'll tell people exactly how to reach you, what to do going forward if they would like to do that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, and that's Patreon//AGathering144. And what I'm going to do, Truman, ever so often in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, I'll just bring you in for about 2 or 3 minutes so that you can give us an update for today on certain things people can take or add to their diet that they didn't know exists, or introduce an herb or whatever to a person who we probably didn't know exists. So ever so often in the academy, I'll call you up and we'll tap your brain a little bit when it comes to the healing process that was set up from the beginning, which is herbs. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's Truman. Truman, don't hang up. We're going to segue to another platform. All right. All right. With that, I'm going to say, brothers and sisters, stay prayed up, sin not, and know that the Most High, a higher power, is with us. See you over in Patreon. Patreon.com/A-Gathering144 will be there for 30 minutes today, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Shalom.
You think you can lie to me? I see it's written all over your face.